So it looks like I'm live. Hey guys, Professor Bell, Comic Book University. I'm going to try something a little bit new today. You see, yesterday I was looking around online and came across something called ASMR. So I'm going to try that right now. Hey, how you doing? Welcome, Professor Bell. I can't do this. I'm freaking dying here. Okay. Hey guys. Let's just start off on this ASMR. I don't mean disrespect to anybody who likes that stuff. Just wow. Yeah, I was looking around. I was almost every time that Marvel on YouTube posts something, I will jump over there, and they got a lot of Black Panther stuff and whatnot. So whatever, one of them, I go and I post. I'm like, hey. And most of the time, I usually wind up becoming one of the top guys because rather than just, first and stuff like that, I actually post something intelligent. Imagine that. And by doing so, what do you call it? Get right to it, Sean. What's up, Sean? What do you call it? By looking around, I saw somebody goes and comments, and it's a woman with very big, womanly frontal part. She had, yeah. You know what I'm talking about. So I go and I check it out. Like, all right, let's see what this is all about. You know what I'm saying? Because scientific intellectual curiosity, that's all it was. Anyway, yeah, she was huge. All right? And it was, wow, nice. But I kept getting drawn to her giant-sized lips. They were so fake. Like, look, when I was a kid, when people my age, when we were kids, we had these things called wax lips. I sincerely doubt anybody today, I'd be surprised, I'd be shocked beyond belief and laugh myself out of the store if I saw wax lips today. All right, but we had these things called wax lips. They were usually just like a big pair of lips, and sometimes they'd be like a big pair of vampire teeth lips, you know what I'm saying? But they were made out of wax. And they'd have a little, bit that you put in your mouth and you bite onto the little nip part. And yeah, that's you just have the wax lips. It didn't do anything. You walk around like, look how silly I look. And you couldn't eat it because it's wax. Didn't taste good because it's wax. You couldn't do hardly anything with it. It was like the most useless thing in the world. You know what I'm saying? You could stick a wick in there and light your way home, I guess, like a candle. But it was the dumbest thing. Anyway, that's what it looked like she had. It looked like she had some wax lips. I'm not usually big on the whole body shaming thing. I'm not, but sometimes. So yeah, just freaky. I kept trying to look down. I kept on looking back up at those ridiculously fake plastic waxen looking lips. Anyway, but she was doing this ASMR stuff, and I was like, this is to me, this is like the dumbest thing in the world. If you like that stuff, that's cool. That's totally cool. But me, I'm old. And it's funny because I remember making fun of my mom for not being able to set the timer for a VCR. And nowadays, there's technology that I'm just like, I don't even know what that is. So it's caught up to me, all right? Anyway, so let's see what we got here. We got Sean. Sup, Bill? Sup, Sean? My eye of Agamato. And I didn't look at my stuff for the past 2 days. Why are they putting that up there? They're just sending that out. Whoa, CBM, Comic Book Media, whatever the heck they're called. They're really late on a story that I've already got here. So anyway, thoughts on Bendis writing Superman and Action Comics. Check this out. From what I understand, he's only going to be writing one particular story in Action Comics issue number 1K, issue number 1000. All right? Only writing one of the many stories that will be involved in there. And that story is apparently going to have some kind of a character, a brand new enemy of Superman, who has a very deadly secret about Krypton within his arsenal. Interesting. A new weakness for Superman, perhaps? Don't know. But I'm intrigued. Maybe he's going to have the power to read people's minds, and he's going to go, Superman, you're gay. And that would be be it. That would be it. We would hunt down, and I would be right up towards the front of that line. He would say, hunt down Brian Michael Bendis. Anyway, just stick him right in a rubber room and throw him a pair of wax lips. Okay, so not only is he going to be doing that, but then after that, he's going to be writing what I'm getting the impression is just a mini-series called Man of Steel. It's going to be starting with issue 1. So he's not actually taking over for Action Comics, not going to be taking over for Superman. Don't take over for Superman because we've already got a good team on Superman. But, yeah, so if he's going to be writing a new comic called Man of Steel, hello, I remember back when I was a kid when I had 4, count them, 4 Superman comics at the same time. Granted, they killed Superman at that time, but it was still very interesting. And then they made him red and blue, which, I think they had too many Superman comics. So maybe this is a bad thing. We'll see. Anyway, yeah, I'm excited. My thoughts are that I am excited to see what Brian Michael Bendis is going to do with Superman. Very excited. Very sad, though, that he's not going to be writing for Hawkman, though. Like, that's something I really wanted to say. Just give me something. Give me a good Hawkman comic again, dude. Let's get up to like 100 issues of a totally awesome Hawkman comic book. So, do you think Johnny died in Avengers last week? No, I don't think he died. I actually mentioned it in the review. I don't think he died. I think he got teleported to some other place. He's probably going to have to keep on dodging Supernova. Because, no, not Supernova, Black Dwarf, because, yeah, they're both to someplace else. There's no way they sacrifice themselves doesn't necessarily mean they died. Sacrifice themselves like taking off the board. Like when you sacrifice a piece in checkers, that piece can come right back when you get yourself kinged, So, Sean, is Kingpin a better mayor than Jameson? Yes. No, actually he's not. Aside from the attacking Superman thing, no. Jameson at least didn't have totally negative ulterior motives behind him. No, he will write Action Comics 101 and 4. Really? He's going to be writing issue 1001 and going forward. Huh. We'll see. Joe Fisher, Doomsday's brother? That would be interesting. What's up, Joe? Hey, what's up, P.A. Stewart? Can you do a Hawkman Explained in a Minute? No, I cannot. No, I cannot do a Hawkman Explained in a Minute. Hawkman is the hands-down most convoluted character that there is in my opinion, all of comics, easily in the DC universe, okay? And the Flash never even touched him. You know what I'm saying? He is the most convoluted character in the comics. So I could do maybe 10, maybe I could get it down to like 7 or 8, I don't know, maybe 6 individual Explained in a Minute, which will be longer than a minute, but no, dude, Hawkman is an extremely complex character. But if they are going to actually release a Hawkman comic and I can get caught up on all these movies and these different characters who I think are going to be thrown out there, yeah, I'll do a bunch of, Hawkman Explains. But in a minute, his entire history, no, dude, because he's more than one person. You know what I'm saying? I know he's supposed to be just one person, but he's not. He's lived so many lifetimes. So, are you hyped Manhunter is back in DC? No, I'm not hyped that he's back. I was if you saw my review for that issue of DC Metal, DC Knights Metal. Yeah, DC Knights Metal, issue number 5 of 6. Oof, there we go. What do you call it? Yeah, he came back and I was like, dude, that's awesome, he's back, yay! So I'm not hyped. I am happy he's back though, because there's a chance they'll actually do something with him. But we'll see. We'll see what DC's actually going to do. It looks like DC's already going to have a whole lot on their hands with all these extra comic books coming out, So we'll see. We'll see. The Immortal Men and all that. Still like it when they had the 4 Superman books when Superman died in the early 90s. Yeah, that was awesome, Joe. Green Scar 11, hello. But he's badass character, Savage Hawkman. It's funny, Savage Hawkman I didn't like too much, but I did enjoy his character. I did enjoy the comic, but I like Carter Hall better than I like Qatar Hall. I don't know. It is what it is. But what do you think of Black Order and the crew? So you mean like Lethal Legion being back in a major storyline in Avengers? I'm loving it. Yeah, no, it's cool. I'm gonna need the explanation of how they're back, though. You know what I'm saying? Like some people mistook me. Some people misunderstood what I was saying when I said, well, didn't they just die recently? Like, people come back in the comics all the time. I've got a comic book channel called Comic Book University, and you don't think I know that characters come back? Some people, man, just welcome to the internet, though, right? You get people of all types. So anyway, yes, I know that characters come back all the time, but you know what usually accompanies a character coming back? An explanation of how they came back. So I'm currently awaiting the explanation of how they came back. Like I'm the way I'm looking at it right now because of the lack of an explanation. But the what is it? Grandmaster Entwi Gast is around in this particular regard. So I'm kind of looking at it just a little bit as, oh look, they're gonna do a for crying out loud, now I'm forgetting the name. Not Lethal Legion, Squadron Supreme and Squadron Sinister type of situation, you know what I'm saying? Where it's like, I just suck them in from an alternate universe, yes. And I'd be okay with that explanation, I would. I would like the explanation presented to me so I know what I'm dealing with here. But, whatever, they'll give it to us. It's a weekly comic, we'll eventually get it, you know what I'm saying? What do we got here? Sean, Batwoman is dead to me. Oh, you also said, R.I.P. Clayface. Yeah, I know. I know, man. Basil Carlo dying was pretty messed up. Batwoman is dead to me. Yes, that now I get what you're saying. Oh yeah. I dropped her comic book after like issue 2, so. Thanks for that, cool man. No worries, Green Scar. Sean, the Black Order came back because movies. That is actually the best explanation I'm probably ever gonna get. All right, so let's look at some of the stuff I want to do here. Oh, let's talk a little bit about The Walking Dead, because this seems rather... Are you kidding me? I'm getting another notification about this. This must have just happened. Meanwhile, I knew about this yesterday. And I wonder if it's going to be too late to say it. Nope, I just got 2 notifications for it while I'm recording this... Not recording, while I'm live streaming this video. That Lauren Cohen is apparently going to wind up... Or not apparently, but it seems like she may wind up quitting The Walking Dead. There's multiple sides to this, and I'm going to give you mine in a moment. Here right now it's pilot season, so all these new startups and franchises, like existing franchises and brand new startups and all these different concepts that they want to move forward with and put out a pilot for a new TV series. All right, that's all happening right now. So they're going to some of the most popular, most famous people and say, hey, we're hoping that we can tap you to come on over. And tap Lauren Cohen? What? Real? Yes! But we're hoping that we could, try and acquiesce you so that you could come over and literally star, front runner in our pilot, which will hopefully be picked up for a TV series. You will be locked in a contract that will probably, we'll say up to 8 seasons. I think that's what they usually do, 8 or 9 seasons. The guy who played Chakotay on Voyager was really upset that he got picked up in the pilot because he's like, man, I never liked Star Wars, and now I've got to be, or Star Trek. Now I got to be in the Star Trek episode, Voyager. And it's like, dude, just beg to get out of your contract because I don't want you in the freaking TV series if you hate it. And then after he left, he starts, dumping on it. Brother, what are you in now exactly? Exactly. So, anyway, Lauren Cohen, she's being, giving these offers to come and star the lead role for multiple other pilots for other TV shows. Okay. So a chance to make her name again, not get locked down in this typecast for a person who goes around killing dead people. That sounds weird, but I'm talking about The Walking Dead, so it's fine. Here's the thing. She just recently asked for a raise. She says, now the articles, as I keep on seeing them, very misleading, total clickbait. I hate clickbait. I hate clickbait. So what they have is, they're saying, oh yeah, man, check it out. She's going to quit because they're not going to pay her what her male co-stars are being paid. Okay. That's one of those situations where you say, That's not cool, man. That is absolutely not cool. If you've got a woman in a role, she should be paid what the males are. Now, obviously, each role is going to be different. You know what I'm saying? But I looked at it as an overall. Nope, turns out that's not the case. You read into the article a little bit more, and it says she wants to be paid what Andrew Lincoln, he plays Rick Grimes, and Norman Reedus, when he played the crossbow-wielding, motorcycle-riding dude, she wants to get paid what they're being paid. Okay. I'm not a huge fan of agreeing, disagreeing, whatever, but I literally look at that as, okay, so what you're saying is you think that you deserve to be paid what the top stars there get paid. Here's the thing. I don't know that she's that crucial to the show. If Norman Reedus gets killed, people were screaming. If Reedus, remember when, what was it, season 8, I think it was, whatever, the opening episode where they were going to show who Negan killed when they first introduced Negan to the TV show. All right? We know in the comic books that he killed Glenn. In the TV show, spoilers for a couple seasons ago, he killed Glenn and he killed the big dude with the red hair. The big dude with the red hair. I know his name, and suddenly I forgot it. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Somebody will mention it in here, I'm sure. But killed both of those guys there. Wow. That was pretty wicked. Okay. So people are saying they can't kill Grimes because he's awesome. And obviously everybody's going to stop watching the show. But they might kill Norman Reedus. If Norman Reedus gets killed, we riot. People were actually saying things like that. People are like, well, I really hope they don't kill Glenn, even though he was the one who got killed in the comics. I hope they don't kill this guy, that guy, that guy. They can't kill this guy, whatever. I don't remember anybody saying anything about Maggie's character, except it would be really messed up if they killed her since she's pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So that's something. That's really something else right there. Like, that says something about her worth to the show. She asked for a raise. They gave her a little raise, not what she was asking for. You gotta look. If you're worth more, fight for more. Fight for more. I don't care if you're a McDonald's worker. Fight for more. Fight for what you believe that you're worth. Just and if you're not appreciated, you got to make the decision from that point on. You know what I'm saying? But everybody is worth something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you're not worth as much as you think you are to the people who have hired you. Maybe somebody else thinks that you are. Maybe somebody thinks you're worth more. But that brings me kind of to my point here. My opinion is, if they will not give her more, but she's being offered more over here, I suggest that she consider the options of going to one of these other places. Allow yourself to get killed. Hopefully it'll be a really meaningful death. She is a loved character. I don't know if she's a beloved character. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's levels there. But if that's going to be the case, maybe it would be better off if she just left and went someplace else where she is going to get paid more, where she has an opportunity to get out of that typecast role, and she also has the opportunity to make a new feature for herself where she's just going to be happier. Sometimes we get bogged down with can't leave my job, I'm too used to it. I don't know how I would do in another job. You'll do fine in another job. You'll do fine at whatever job you're going to go to. It's the idea of letting go of what you're comfortable with. You know what I'm saying? We get into comfort patterns. So yeah, that's perfectly fine. Let's see, what do we got up here? Deadpool will end at 300. Yes, I heard that. People will stop. Green Scar, you think that people will stop watching if Maggie dies? I don't know, man. I think as long as Andrew Lincoln and Norman Reedus are there, I think people will still be watching. I don't know. I don't know. Plus, imagine what would happen if what's his name? If not the governor, but whatever, the guy who's in charge of the you know what? I haven't even watched the I don't think I watched the mid-season finale. I can't remember what happened in the mid-season finale. Anyway, just there could be a lot of things that would happen there. We don't know if Deadpool's actually going to end at 300. I don't remember seeing anybody saying that it's actually ending, but Jerry Duggan is supposed to leave. So that's kind of sad. Lauren Cohen, I think she will have looked great as the Wasp. Ooh, yes. To me, she looks a lot like her from most comics. Yeah, that would work. You know what? She's really tall, though. She's really tall. That's the thing. Janet Van Dyne, not only was short, but she actually allowed herself to stay shorter so that her wings would sprout. You know what I'm saying? Would stay sprouted so she could fly as a bigger person. Plus, she was okay with seeming smaller than what she absolutely is. So I've got to make a Wasp Explained in a minute, Ghost Explained in a minute, all this good stuff. I got to do all that stuff. Okay, so let's move on. Oh, you guys noticed that on the bottom of my screen there, I've got Black Panther, hashtag Black Panther Challenge. I do that because I became aware of this because of DC fans. That's right. Weird, right? Marvel Comics feature Black Panther. There are, a lot of times you'll hear like the craziest things. So you'll hear people who are huge DC fans who just, they swing hard right, and they're like, oh, DC's awesome, Marvel stinks. No matter what Marvel does, it's awful, and no matter what DC does, it's great. Release this Zack Snyder footage and rah! It's like, yeah, a lot of times they're a little bit crazy. By the way, 13 people showed up for that stupid rally. Come on, man, that's just embarrassing. So you never heard anything else after that about the Zack Snyder release, right? So the Zack Snyder director's cut of Justice League. So there are a lot of DC fans who have gotten together and they're trying to raise money. Last I saw is $1,600. That's a fairly decent chunk of change to try and get young black kids who don't have a lot of money or who are sick in hospitals to be able to go and see the Black Panther movie. This is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen. All right, because again, I've mentioned it before. I'll say it again now, and I hope that other people can agree for themselves also. I am not a Marvel fan. I am not a DC fan. I'm a comic book fan. I like good comics. And I pronounced I pronounced love wrong. You know what I'm saying? It's not like, it's love. So I am ecstatic to see something like that. That's great. So hashtag Black Panther Challenge. Apparently you can donate like $1, whatever you can. I think that's a really noble cause. I love the idea of that. Let's see what we got here. Green Scar, no, if Daryl dies, yeah, if Daryl dies, yeah, people stop watching. I wouldn't be interested in watching. Like, what are they going to do if Daryl dies? If Daryl and Rick die, forget about it. Ant-Man Explained in a minute. Yes. Yes. I will have to do all of the Ant-Men. There are 5? 5 Ant-Mans. Oh, jeez, Ant-Men? No, Ant-Mans. They're Ant-Mans. DC fans are so sad. No, sometimes. Sometimes. Dick Fillmore, hey, evening, y'all. Sorry I'm late. What are we talking about? Lauren Cohen is hot. Yes, she is. And I can't wait to hopefully see her one day being Bruce Wayne's mom in a flashback for a Flashpoint movie where Negan is the dad. That would be awesome. Are you excited? Armor is joining the gold team. Yes, I am, because I love Armor. Sean, I love Armor, and you know that. Okay. You guys might notice the Captain America figure on my screen. This is an early release showing of some of the Marvel Legends 6-inch figures, which are supposed to show what these characters look like. So they're already showing whatever. They're showing Thanos. That's the word I was looking for. Duh. They're showing Thanos. He's got the Infinity Gauntlet. It's complete. He doesn't have anything on his head. He's got that little smile. Looks a little bit cheesy, but whatever. They're showing Iron Man. They showed Spider-Man. And now they're showing Captain America and that shield. That's interesting. Remember when Black Panther in the trailer for Infinity War says, "And somebody get that man a shield." Is that the shield that they get him? It looks kind of ceremonial. I'm not complaining. That looks like this may be an early preview of what that shield is supposed to look like. Interesting. Stan Lee went to the hospital earlier in the week, and just not too long ago, yesterday, he was released. So he was released to go back home and apparently flirt with nurses again. No judgments. So yeah, that's good. That's good news. We're gonna have him with us a little bit longer. Get this guy to shoot a couple more cameo films. Cameos for the films. Let's go. Let's get on it. Just wow. Okay. Hello. He looks just like the Hydra Cap. Joe Fisher, yes, he kind of does. He kind of does, doesn't he? What do you call it? He's got the beard and all that stuff. It does look like the Hydra Cap shield without, the star, like the heater shield. You know what I'm saying? I'm very disappointed that they never released that shield where they could separate, because it looks like they released a very close version of the Hydra Cap, before his uniform turned green, which was like, really? But I would love to get a version of that heater shield where the shield actually separates like that, because that was cool. I dug that shield. I really did. My Wakanda accent sucks. I'm using a... Oh, yeah. Somebody get that man a shield. Yeah, I know. I know. It's not great. Shut up, man. I thought Stan Lee would die. Possibly. Hoping not. Sean, are Stan Lee and Aunt May the same age? Not the new Aunt May. Marissa Tomei is much younger and much hotter. How you doing? Boom, boom, boom. Green Scar. So, is he going to be Nomad in the new Avengers movie? Because I see Nomad there. See, I heard Nomad for him, and I heard Ronan for Clint Barton. Not too shabby. Not too shabby. That would be great to see them just leave and go off and do their own things like that. It would be a great explanation for why they just vamoose, We also saw a quick release. Reddit put it out, and then Mark Ruffalo put it out on his Instagram and said, hey, I saw this on Reddit, and it's an image of him in one of those body scan suit things, kind of, and he's got a, I don't know if anybody knows today, the stick with the bag on it, if you're running away from home, way back in the days of Brer Rabbit, Brer Rabbit and all that stuff. Yeah, it looks like that, So anyway, there's a picture of him doing that, and he's got like a little beanie cap on thing. Yeah, weird. So maybe at the end of Infinity War, because they just finished shooting last week. They just got finished shooting Infinity War 4 or Avengers Part 4. So now that's going to go into post production and all that stuff also. Actually, it's currently in post production. So all those Avengers, if they don't die, they have to leave. They have to go someplace. So let's see what happens. Boom, Sean. Mike Del Mundo might do a Thunderbolts or Mighty Thor. Nice, because Del Mundo is awesome. Just well, okay? I didn't get to hear your accent. Encore, please. Here it goes. Somebody get that man. No, see, that's just worse. That actually sounds, now I almost sound like, Rusev Vachan. Like, it's just, now I'm on the spot. You can't put me on the spot. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, just get out of here. Okay, oh my God, that was terrible. Bite me. And it says something like buy all or something. Yeah. Exactly, Joe Fisher. You saw the one. Okay, here's something interesting. DC Nation, it's actually right here. Let me get ready to delete that. DC Nation issue number 0 is going to be coming out for Free Comic Book Day. Guys, Free Comic Book Day this year shows up, remember, it's always that first Saturday in May. Well, this year, the first Saturday in May is Cinco de Mayo, May 5th. That's right. So, no drinking that day. You got to get and you read your comic books. All right? And there'll be a whole lot from me coming out. When I'm just like, just finished reading this. I'm live chatting. I did such and such. I might live chat them. Who knows? Yeah, I might actually live chat them because I don't think there'll be pictures up. And I'm going to want to get those out ASAP. ASAFP. Catch my drift. So, DC Nation issue number 1. It will be free release digital, but apparently they're going to charge 25 cents, probably 33 cents up here in Canada. They're going to release it for a quarter, so 2 bits. So it's not actually a free comic book, but it is going to be like 32 pages or something to that effect. So it's a free comic book and a half, so you got to pay for that half part. Anyway, so it'll be DC Nation issue 0, and they're going to have a preview of Superman Action Comics. So they're going to have a little preview of what Brian Michael Bendis is going to be doing in Action Comics. After that, they're going to have also a preview in there for, what the heck is this thing called? for Scott Snyder's No Justice. So Scott Snyder's No Justice and Brian Michael Bendis's Action Comics. So awesome. But what is DC Nation issue 0 all about? Ka-chow. The Joker finds out about Batman and Catwoman getting married. And he's not particularly happy. So he's going to try and break them up. Oh, man. These guys know what the heck they're doing. Tom King knows what he's doing. All right? Tom King is just out of control. So I'm so excited to see this. So apparently Batman issue number 50 or 54. I think Batman issue number 50 is supposed to be their actual wedding. Do they get married and go through it or not? They're not releasing that information. But that's going to be released on apparently July 4th. Yeah. We got to wait that long? It's terrible. Maybe it's June 4th. I think it's July 4th, though. Anyway, so, it's going to be a big one. So that's what No Surrender. No Surrender. I knew it. I keep on saying in my mind No Surrender. But DC Nation. Interesting. Here's something that's going to be happening, May 30th. The Han Solo movie trailer is finally going to be released. No. Excuse me. Brian Michael Bendis' Superman is going to be released on May 30th. Han Solo's solo movie, meaning the first of 3 prequel movies, the trailer is going to be released not on Super Bowl Sunday, so not tomorrow. No mañana. It is going to be released on the 5th of February. So it's going to be released in a couple of days. Yeah, interesting. So I'm kind of excited to see it. It's going to be released in during Good Morning America. That's strange. I guess they just weren't ready or they didn't want to spend the money. I can't blame them for not wanting to spend the money to put out Super Bowl Sunday. I don't see the purpose of having anything out on Super Bowl Sunday, right? Just because you're going to reach the largest audience doesn't mean they're all going to be comic book fans. I'm just saying, I played football when I was a kid, but I never watched football on TV. I did watch baseball on TV. You know what I'm saying? Because I played baseball all the time. I was always playing baseball. I was a regular X-Man. I played so much darn softball. You know what I'm saying? Actually baseball, but you know what I'm saying. So I was an honorary X-Man. Just saying. Watched it on TV and everything. But I just don't see that many football fans being like, oh yeah, man, Han Solo movie, awesome. Yeah, can't wait. So I don't blame them for not putting on there. I don't see the purpose in Disney wasting all that money to have an Infinity War trailer show up there. I don't see the purpose of any of that nonsense. I would absolutely not waste my money just so that people who are not interested in the product can look at the product. You know what I'm saying? That's just me. That's just me. What do we got there? What am I missing here? Joe Fisher, and it says something like, Sean's a dry. Are you Jesus? Am I Jesus? Well, I usually drink my water, then walk on it, so no. Batman and Catwoman got married? No, not yet. They are getting married. They proposed. He proposed to her, and she said yes. It took 4 months for her to finally say, and I'm talking in real life. We had to go through 8 comic books in order to get there. But she finally said yes, through the war of jokes and riddles. So he had to tell her about Kite Man first. That was like the best in that recent Batman issue where she's talking to Lois. Is like, so how was the proposal? Well, it was kind of long. He had to tell me about Kite Man or something like that first, and then he was able to ask me. It's like one of the best lines in comics. Oh my God, that was great. That was just great. Off topic. Oh. Sean, Bill, could Catwoman and Batwoman have Batman, could Catwoman and Batwoman, yes! Make it happen! Could Catwoman and Batman have a kid? Yeah, why not? Oh! Something I didn't even put down. I just heard there's going to be something coming up really soon. Deathstroke. I might have... Sean's and Dry. You keep on saying, hey, Bill, man, you got to start reading more DC Comics. I agree. looks like I'm going to have to start covering Deathstroke for at least a little while. Starting on issue 30, there's going to be a 6-issue Batman vs. Deathstroke in that series. Now, obviously, it's not going to be 6 issues of them fighting. They'll probably only meet up like twice, you know what I'm saying? But here's the really interesting part. The reason why this is happening is because Deathstroke hears word that there's a chance he could be the true biological father to Damian. I will be reading the heck out of those comics, all right? So make no mistake. I've been wanting to get on Deathstroke. Excuse me, I missed issue 1, but then I saw issue 2's release. It's like, oh, they did Deathstroke Rebirth. Oh, darn it, I missed it. Maybe I can catch up and then go and start reviewing it. I just didn't, and I'm like, it just got away from me. It got up to issue 5. Once it got up to there, I'm like, intimidation. I can't do it. So I didn't. But same situation with Moon Girl. Stop shouting at me, Sean. But yeah, so I'm going to have to just jump right in and just be like, okay, I have no idea what's happening in the comic, but right now this is what's happening. So yeah, that's always scary jumping into those. Now we know where Catboy from PJ Masks comes from. Oh my God, your kids watch that also? I've got the figures here. I've got the figures. Oh, jeez. Yeah, in case anybody's wondering about that, here. This is Catboy. This is the guy he's talking about. Super Cat Speed! Super Cat Jump! And stuff like that. So you won't know. The Gecko has the straight... Yeah, I have the figure. I haven't given it to my kids yet. But anyway, so... Yeah, funny. Nice one. Really nice one. I dig that. Green scars all over that. Avengers Observe. That was actually a very funny line also. Falcon screamed that out in the most recent issue of Avengers No Surrender. All right, we have an opportunity to watch these guys, kick some butt and what. Wait, actually, Falcon didn't say that. I think that was Hercules who said that. Anyway, somebody said, Avengers Observe! That was awesome. My nephew watches the show. Yeah. Does Power Girl have the big... I don't know. Okay, listen, one of the last videos that I watched from Rob over in Rob Explains, Comics Explained, Marvel Explained, DC Explained, all this little explained stuff, all right? I think it was one of the last videos that I watched where I was just like, this guy's really he's lost it now. He does a show, an episode called the Top 10 Biggest Boobs in Marvel Comics or something like that. I'm just like, are you serious? And I think I remember Storm being number 1. So according to Rob, apparently, yeah, this was years ago. I'm casting no shadow on Rob because the guy's still out there. He's got a bajillion more subs than me, which means he's doing something right. All right, I saw that and I'm like, dude, done lost his mind. Dude lost his mind. So anyway, here, let's see here. Let's profess thoughts on who Challenger will be in No Surrender and what is the prize. Huge Deathstroke fan, no worries, Green Scar. Batman and Catwoman having a kid, talk about a case of severe sibling rivalry with Damian. Absolutely, P.A. Stewart, that'll be bad. It was Wonder Woman. So, comics watching. I just realized it was you who was saying that, comics watching. Yeah, I don't know who it is, but I'm imagining it's another Guardian of the Galaxy. No, not Guardian. It can't be a Guardian of the Universe. It's DC. That's Green Lantern. Oh, for crying out loud! What the heck are those? Elder of the Universe. Too many Galaxy Universe people. Anyway, I think it's one of the Elders of the Universe. It might be the Obliterator for whatever reason. For some reason I look at his silhouette and I'm reminded of the Obliterator. I don't know why. You know what I'm saying? It's a weird thing. It's probably not him. But if it is, you will all call me Professor Nostradamus from this point on. Anyway, so let's finish some of this stuff up here. Oh, wait, no. Looks like I'm done. What's this? Oh, yeah, I'm done. That's everything on my list. Okay, guys, I'm leaving. No, I'm joking. I'm joking. Power Girl appeared in Deathstroke Annual. Oh, cool. That's Sean and Joe. Did they make the Terry guy from Batman, Bruce's son, somehow in the show? No. Wait. Wait, yeah, I remember something like that happening where they were trying to say that it was actually, and I think they're trying to bring that in the comics also. Um, oh, for crying out loud! What's it? Dan Jurgens? Dan Jurgens is writing that. He's writing Action Comics, and now he's also writing Batman Beyond. And I think I remember him pointing out that they were going to find out that he was actually the biological father of, because I do remember they did something like that in the TV series. I didn't watch all of the episodes of the TV series. I was just moving at that point, and it was I didn't have a TV where I'd moved. I didn't take a TV with me. That's why I had a TV in my own room when I was living with my mom. But then after I left for the army and I came back, I'm like, I can't stay here. I just gotta be free. So I left my TV and my VCR and VCR, quiet, and I left. I was like, boom, I'm out. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, whatever. Yes, I am going to do the segment now. Sean, what do we got here? Comics watching. I'm reading The Obliterator and Silver Surfer right now. I was just going to say Dick Fillmore's going to have something to say about that. And sure enough, original Obliterator is one of the lamest characters of all time. He kind of is. Like, he's got those giant, like, he should have been awesome. He's drawn so awesome, but it's like, yeah, there were a bunch of Elders of the Universe. Yeah, Elders of the Universe. There were a bunch of Elders of the Universe, but only 5 of them were actually important. Because I did the 5 original Elders of the Universe explained in a minute in separate videos. And I thought about doing 3 of the others, the B team of the other 3s, the second string. I was like, yeah, I'll do them eventually, but not today. Because who cares? You know what I'm saying? Nobody put up a fuss. Not even Dick Fillmore. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody yelled at me and said, hey, your list isn't complete, because they're just like, yeah, no, I feel you. Screw them. And I agree. I will eventually get to them, I'm sure. But we'll see. Joe Fisher, and I hate Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d. is off for 4 weeks. You see, they promised they were not going to do that to us. And that's also really bad because I didn't watch it last night. And I have to watch it after this is over and put up a review. But I'm exhausted, so we'll see what happens here. Okay. Time for the segment, which means... Ka-chat. Whoa, hey. I have spoken. Delete. Fool. There we go. The Eye of Agamotto. It does not speak, but it sees all and reveals all. And it is now time for the segment to see what Sean s.h.i.e.l.d. has sent me on Twitter. And I didn't look at my Twitter for the past 2 days. All right, so like I sent you that most recent message, Sean, and I did not check after. So, oh man, looks like I got a whole bunch of responses for my my explained in a minute for Everett K. Ross. I did Everett K. Ross explained in a minute today. Plus his first appearance, which was actually in issue number 17 of Kazar, Volume 3. Yeah, that was interesting. Christopher Priest was writing that also. So he's just like, yeah, let me introduce this character. And then he actually says, he was in there for like a couple of panels and a few pages, and he's just like, yeah, you want to see more of this guy? Check out his further adventures in the upcoming Black Panther series. And it's like, okay, but he was pointless in here, but he was so great in Christopher Priest's run. So, boom, loves it. Okay, what do we got here? So yesterday he sent me... Okay, Flash issue number 41 cover. Nice. Superman 43 cover. Interesting. It's hard to see what that is. Somebody ripping through stuff. Freaky. Avengers number 690. Okay, cool. They got Hulk on the front cover. I don't know if you guys will be able to see that or not. Yeah, you can. Hulk is on the front cover. So that's something. What's this? Oh, Rise of Black Panther issue number 4. Yeah, and Doctor Doom is on the front as actual Doctor Doom, which means Brian Michael Bendis has been kind of showing, well, just in the most recent issue, kind of showed that Doom might be turning back into a bad guy again. I don't know how I feel about that. I really like him as a good guy right now, but you kind of figured he'd eventually have to go back to being a bad guy, you know? What a shame. What a shame. Daredevil 599. You know what? Like, oh, this isn't the cover. Okay. Oh, but this is CBR's front. Yeah, I don't know if I'm allowed to show their logo or not. Whenever I see that they've got their thing, whenever they do an exclusive comics preview, they always have that ink print on there. I don't show it because I'm afraid that I might get in trouble for it. But anyway, it's Kingpin holding Daredevil over top of a precipice. Cool. What else we got here? The Corps versus Zod. See, this just looks amazing. Like Zod versus the entire Green Lantern Corps. That's happening in Hal Jordan and the Green Lantern Corps right now. I think it was just last week I read the first issue of that arc. Did the preview for it. DC Nation out in May for only 25 cents. Not joking. Yeah, but I just actually did that, and it's free comic book day. That's the thing that kills me. They're still selling it. It's only for a quarter, but they're doing it on free comic book day. That's not a free comic book. that kind of annoys me. But like I said, on digital it will be free. So digging it. It almost seems like they're trying to push you to go digital with your comic reading. But you can't get a digital copy of anything signed, so that'll probably never happen. The Challenger in Avengers No Surrender. Oh, get out of town! Here's a picture of the Challenger. Okay. And then a Challenger arises. What's he say? Look at you. What's this? What's everything say? Sorry, I got to read everything first. Hard to believe that we were ever friends. We may have to consult the rule book, Challenger. There's been... Oh, and then there comes Johnny Storm. Yep, so Johnny Storm is still alive. Okay, so this is what the Challenger looks like. He kind of looks like... So with DC doing all the Marvel characters, are they going to do Darkseid now? Yes, I know Thanos was originally a copy of. But anyway, so they also have right behind the Grandmaster, they also have Johnny Storm, Human Torch. So no, he'll be fine. He'll be fine. What do we got here? What's everybody saying? Boom, 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 boom. I did give you crap because I wanted to see Silver Surfer 15 through 18, In-Betweener versus Galactus, Professor Traitor, Astronomer, Killed by Death. All three of those. The Professor, Traitor, Astronomer, Killed by... And it's funny because I do have to do that one of these days. So I already did In-Betweener explained in a minute. The Astronomer was at least interesting. The Professor and the Traitor were like, The Astronomer was kind of interesting, a little bit. Maybe I could just do like all three, whatever. I do have to do that story because that was a really interesting story. Like, here's Death, and here's these guys, and they're talking to In-Betweener, and In-Betweener has got this like reality control power. He literally controls reality. Scarlet Witch has nothing on this dude. So, what do you call it? They're talking trash to him, like, what are you going to do? You can't kill us, all right? We're immortal, true immortals. And then he's like, oh, really? So he has Death show up, and Death kind of walks up. He's like, kill them. He's like, what? No, we struck a deal. How could you? But he has the ability to, through reality control, to control Death. That was crazy. That was insane. The In-Betweener has the ability to control Death. She never forgave him, and that's why it was because of that particular reason. That's why, you have much later on when the Thanos' Infinity Quest starts, he's, he goes and fights the In-Betweener-ish, you know what I'm saying? He has a little parlay with him, let's say, and he wins and he goes to leave, and Death was like, oh, so, you're not trying to join him, right? Because I hate him. It's like, no, I'm not. It's like, oh, you're going to go and hurt him? Okay, I'm totally down with that. Everything else she questioned, but him going to actually beat up on the In-Betweener, she's like, no, that's cool, because I don't like him. And that's the reason why. Because he made her betray a promise that she would made with all of the elders of the universe. And these three wound up having to suffer for it. Oh, well. They shouldn't have been so stupid. Batman issue number 41 variant. Yeah, it's him with Poison Ivy stuff in the back. What's this? Could this work? What could work? Get the heck off of my Earth, alien scum. What kind of pathetic human with weapons do to a god? The Punisher, the ultimate nullifier. That's great. Was Deadpool number 300? Oh man, that's a big. I don't know if you guys can see just all these different versions of Deadpool. Nope, it's not going to show nicely. Anyway, all these different versions of Deadpool showing up there. That's a better picture at least. That was cool. I'm digging it. And read Moon Girl or I will come to your house and catch these hands. Jeez. See what I'm talking about? The threats that I get. Like, it's dangerous being a professor on Comic Book Universe. It's dangerous, man. I know, dude. I'm going to try to read Moon Girl with the threats already. Oh, my God. I just gave it an orgasm. For what? Thanos used Death's anger to begin the Thanos Quest. Yeah, the Thanos Quest, not the Infinity Quest. As I'm saying Infinity Quest, I'm like, no, that was a much later storyline that later on, that was him eventually finding out about Thane, about his son, one of his many, many children. I knew it wasn't called Infinity Quest. I just couldn't remember. Yeah, Thanos Quest. Thank you. Oh, yeah, I remember Joe Fisher. Dude, I remember way back in the day when, what do you call it? When comics used to be 75 cents. I remember that. Like, that was a huge deal for me. I was like, only 75 cents. That's cool because I can afford that. And then I went to like $1.25. I was like, the prices are getting out of control. They can't get that expensive, right? If only I could have looked into the future and I could have seen that, oh my God, comic books are $4 now, and the bigger issues can be $5 to $10. That's crazy. Plus, how much are they planning on selling Action Comics number 1000 for? Oh, for crying out loud. Exactly, Thanos used Death's anger to begin the Thanos Quest. Yep. He just gave me a nerdgasm. Happy to do that. Surprise! You guys get a little... Also, don't forget to check out the beginning of this video. I did a little ASMR. I'm just saying. It was kind of sexy. It was an experience. It was $1 for a while too. Oh yeah. No, it was $1 for a while. It was a whole bunch of different, prices all throughout. I remember I have some comic books where it says 25 cents, and here's the funny thing. All of those comics back in the day, whenever you see, there would be one issue that would say still only, 25 cents, and then the next issue would be 35 cents. It's like, oh no. So every time I would see, 75 cents, 75 cents, 75 cents. Cool. Then one day, still only 75 cents. Like, no, they're going to give a price hike. So I always hated seeing that big, still only. Go back and research that. Go and check it out. It's the freakiest thing. What do you call it? What do we got here? Shansa Dry. Did you read Moon Girl? So you will... If you don't read Moon Girl soon, you will meet my friend, the Backhand. I remember in William Wallace... played by Mel Gibson in Braveheart, where his father goes and says to him, like run along, young William, for you fell the back of my hand. That's like, because Professor Bill, so William, my given name is William, and I remember like all of my friends. I used to work in a McDonald's, all the places I've worked, right? I used to work in a McDonald's while I was going to school at DeVry, to become an engineer. So it's funny. While I was working there, that's when Braveheart came out. And I remember going to see it multiple times with a bunch of the guys from McDonald's, a couple of the ladies too, just saying. And anyway, all the guys in this, like pretty soon, even the manager who never even saw Braveheart, everybody would be like, get back there and get back to work before you feel the back of my hand. Everybody kept on saying that to me. I'm like, if only I could change my name. It's like the funniest thing. So nice one. Comic watching. Moon Girl 27 was the best issue yet of this current run. Nice. Yeah, you know what? That's actually what Sean said also. Get out of town. I will always love video games is for crying out loud, the YouTube channel here. Ewelvg is actually how it's pronounced. But it's funny, they just did a contest recently. Excuse me, I just saw it today, so I did a really quick video. The idea is get 5 videos, they want 5 people who are content creators to make a video, like 10 seconds long max, where you try to pronounce their name, their acronym there. It's just an initialization, you know what I'm saying? But they want it to be pronounced as an acronym instead. So they said, butcher the name as much as possible. If you're one of the 5 winners, we will feature you on the channel. So like, cool. I watched the thing anyways. And guys, if you are still watching, I first found you guys out because of your DCEU videos where you would put up, you know exactly what I'm talking about, but for the people who don't, these guys actually do these videos where they have the DCEU game, the DCU online game. I still have that on Steam. I haven't played it in forever, but I always want to go back and play it. The problem is it's just kind of repetitive. It's an extremely repetitive game, especially if you're not buying content. Anyways, these guys apparently own all of the content on there, subscribers or whatnot for it, members, so they can unlock all the powers immediately. And they made Phantoma, and I'm a huge, you guys know, I've actually got it right up on top here. Further funny story. I love Phantoma, you know what I'm saying? I did my Fletcher Hanks explained video and a Phantoma explained in a minute video. And I absolutely love Phantoma, the very first female superhero ever made by Fletcher Hanks. And what do you call it? They did create Phantoma. So I'm like, these guys are clearly comic book fans if they know who Phantoma is. You know what I'm saying? So they made Phantoma on the opening screen, so they made a character for Phantoma there. And then I went and I looked, and they got a whole bunch of other ones. I just saw today, they've also got Storm now, which is awesome. They did the Guardians of the Galaxy. So I actually started watching them because of those videos. So, yeah, they had the contest up. I'm like, yeah, why not? So, awesome. Thank you, man. What's up with this pimping? Sean. I actually told you, Sean, man, you can come down to the house. You can come up to the house. But if you're going to do the pimp hand thing, you got to have the fedora, and there's got to be a feather. It's got to be a colored feather. You don't just find some feather off the street. It must be a colored feather, okay? And if you get like the band for the fedora in cheetah colors, we're good. We're golden. All right. Also, really quickly, Chapter House Comics has some dude with like 5 first names. Weirdest thing ever, but he contacted me in the middle of the night last night. When I did the Phantoma issue number 4 explained, and he thanked me for I thought this was really cool. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons. It's actually not, but it's one of the benefits, one of the perks of doing smaller comic book companies, smaller comic books. I reviewed the comic book. I reviewed all 4 issues, but I did 4. And I made a comment. I made 2 comments about what I'd like to see coming up, and how I'm a little disappointed that this happened, but overall really good. So I was polite about my criticism. Imagine that, a YouTuber who's polite on a criticism. So he contacts me. He's like, "Thanks for the review. Thanks for keep watching. Hey, make sure you check this out. I'm going to answer all your questions on such and such such." So awesome. Very cool, very cool. So I like seeing, that's one of the perks of doing the smaller comics. Even though I'll get if I'm lucky, I'll get 35 views on that. I'll have 500 views on another video. You know what I'm saying? But 34 views for a Phantoma comic because nobody cares, right? But that's one of the things that's cool for me. That's one of the things that makes me happy. That's my reward for doing this kind of thing, is being able to talk to creators and people like that, to get the little inside scoop perhaps. So, let's see what I got here. Comic watching. Talking to Green Scar. Okay, you guys are rapping back and forth. Joe Fisher, I forgot why, but Marvel put out 6 comics for only 25 cents, and the only one I could find was the X-Men comic with Wolverine on it, and Uncanny X-Men number 423. I'm going to have to look that one up. 423. Actually, let me actually write that down. X-Men 423. I will look into that. Boom. Also, what am I doing here? Yeah, it's just all my notes that I have to do for the future. Too many. P.A. Stewart, I'm old, started buying comics when they were a dime. You are awesome, dude. You are awesome. I'm a little bit jealous. 12 cents was an outrage. Guys, for the sake of conversation, 12 cents is 1 bit. Look it up. 12 cents is 1 bit. So, Sean Sadrai, if Chase dated Gert now, would he go to jail? Oh, he would absolutely go to jail. He would absolutely go to jail. What Golden Age character got you started, PA? Yeah, Dick wants to know. Good question. And Joe Fisher's laughing. Okay, so it looks like that's just about it, guys. I don't see much else. I think I should leave now. Hey, Bill, answer me a single question. What is Hawkman? What is Hawkman? Okay, Hawkman is this character who, mind you, DC Metal is changing this. So DC's Dark Knight's Metal is changing the history of Hawkman and making it much more expansive. Not a problem. But it might actually wrap some things up. So DC started off with, back in Flash Comics, what was it, issue number 4? I think it was Flash Comics issue number 2 or 4. Anyway, it was before they made Wonder Woman. You know what I'm saying? So Hawkman and Hawkgirl are actually older than Wonder Woman. It's true. It's damn true. You suck. Sorry, Kurt Angle moment. WWE. So, Hawkman started off as Carter Hall. He's just this guy. He was an archaeologist, and then all of a sudden he found some old relics, and it unlocked a memory inside him that he actually lived multiple lives in the past. And he died and be reincarnated, and he was originally Prince Khufu, all right? Prince Khufu was this Egyptian prince, literally during around the time of Imhotep. I think it was actually before. Anyway, and Shayara was his wife at the time. What do you call it? So Shayara eventually became Hawk Girl. So same exact thing. Eventually Hawk Woman. Then there's Kendra Saunders, who's actually the niece of Shayara, but she wound up becoming Shayara proper. And then there was like a relationship, and that was really freaking weird. And like Jeff Johns, what are you thinking about? Sorry, let me put on my Jeff Johns Green Lantern hat. No, he doesn't do that. Anyway, so what do you call it? I gotta get new bandanas because I miss my bandanas. So what happened? They eventually, like, they kept on doing with that story and whatnot, and he's just this master of weapons, this absolute master, because every single lifetime that he's lived, he mastered one weapon. He was a knight in one, so he like mastered the two-handed sword. He was a cleric, another one. He mastered the mace, and he was a slave in one issue. So he mastered the ability to use chains, locked or unlocked, shackled to his wrists. You know what I'm saying? He was a priest one time. So in a future incarnation, Hawkman actually blessed. It was a really weird story, but it was still pretty cool. It was a great story. There was a vampire who took over this apartment building. So he's walking through and he's mumbling something, and the vampire doesn't know what he's like. What are you saying? What are you saying? He's like watching over closed caption TV. And it turns out he's actually reciting a prayer, and he's blessing the water in the pipes. I know, it sounds so stupid, but when you read the comic, it's like, I've never seen that done in the comics before. That was freaking awesome. That was awesome. I don't care what anybody says. That was cool. So he blessed the holy water, and then a little match with like a little lighter or something like that. He beat the vampire because the sprinklers went off and the vampire got... It was just awesome, dude. So like he's got every single life he's led, some new change to him, So now as Hawkman, he's the culmination of all these memories, which is interesting because... I think that this has a lot to do with the Order of the Golden Dawn, which eventually Aleister Crowley was a member of, but eventually not necessarily took over, but formed his own version, the OTO, the Ordo Templi Orientis. Yeah, I've been in some really freaky stuff when I was younger. And the whole purpose there, like black magic is affecting other people, whether it's healing or harming. Yeah, it's true. Like in the philosophy of thaumaturgy, which is magic, anything that you do to somebody else is considered black magic. So if you try to hurt someone, if you try to help someone, including healing someone of a sickness, that's considered black magic. White magic is all internal. The entire purpose of white magic is to learn the language, the secret language called Enochian. John Dee, actually, he had a trapezoid. The original idea for a crystal ball was actually a trapezoid. I know, but anyway, it's not just religion and engineering I know about. So he goes and he scries into this trapezoid crystal, and he discovers this angelic language called Enochian. Enochian is the language of angels. It looks like it's spelled Enochian. No, it's Enochian. That's the proper way to put it. That's the difference between reading a book and actually sitting with people who know this stuff. So the whole purpose is to now find a way to now communicate. Now that you know the language of the angels, now to find a way to communicate with your holy guardian angel. Very different from standard Christianity, but it's kind of incorporated into it. And if you could talk to your holy guardian angel, your guardian angel will reveal to you all of your past lives that you've been reincarnated from. So now with this complete knowledge of who you actually are, you can now transcend to like beyond, not just to the astral plane, which is like the fourth level of 10, which are, like divine. No, you can, it's like a way of transcending to nirvana proper, to actually becoming true at one with yourself, and reconnected to the universe. That's the purpose of white magic. So that's kind of what they're doing with Hawkman. But then they decide, let's have a little bit more fun with this, and let's make him a freaking alien named Qatar Hall. A Qatar is it's a device that you hold. It's like like if you're holding a lightsaber, all right, you got your hand, and then on top there's this gigantic blade and these two little rivets that are connecting to it. So yeah, that's a Qatar. So his name, and he would use a Qatar. Qatar would use a Qatar. Go figure. Anyways, Qatar Hall, as opposed to Carter Hall, was a space cop on the planet Thanagar. And on Thanagar, he was like the best of the space cops. If you're a really, really, really good space cop, you'll get your wings, which it'll allow you to fly. He was more than the best. He was the best of the best, all right? Like, what do you call it? So he eventually decided, the original idea, said, okay, me and my wife, who is also one of the best, we are space cops out in Thanagar, and we want to go and check out the planet Earth and see how their detectives do things. Yeah, I know. Go figure, the freaking Silver Age. So they came to America, and they set up, and they're like, okay, let's see the way that they do detective things, and really weird stuff. And they would have contests with each other sometimes, saying, you do it the way back home, I'll do it the way we do it here. So they'd both come to a similar conclusion, but Carter Hall, who did it the Earth way, always came ahead just a little bit. Anyway, so eventually that all got retconned over and over and over again, and finally they got to the point where now it's just all different versions thereof. And in Savage Hawkman, he actually had the nth metal as a part of him, like inside of his bloodstream. I want you to think of Iron Man, the bleeding edge armor, okay? How the armor would actually be in his skin, in his bloodstream, and then it could come out and form on him. Very similar way, because nth metal is considered the most powerful metal that there is. Forget what vibranium, forget adamantium. Thanagarian nth metal is like the deal, all right? And there's a new version just discovered recently in the 6-issue Death of Hawkman series that was on one of the moons. Despero wound up finding it, and it's like, oh man, big deal here. So yeah, just a whole bunch of really crazy things. Anyway, now apparently his history is supposed to go back long before the time of the ancient Egyptians. And I should also mention Hath-Set for the sake of conversation. So Hath-Set was this guy who saw the love between s.h.i.e.l.d. and Prince Khufu, and he went up and he killed them. He wanted to try and get with s.h.i.e.l.d., and she's like, heck no, you filthy, you're a high priest, shut up, man. So he's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna kill you. And then and killed them with a piece of nth metal. Mind you, they already found nth metal because it turns out that a ship, later retconned, this came from Thanagar, landed, it was made of nth metal, so they fashioned wings for Khufu and s.h.i.e.l.d. to fly with. Dude, I'm telling you, this can't be done in a minute. So that they can now fly with it. Turns out it's not the wings that actually make them fly, it's just the nth metal itself. So even if they don't have nth metal wings, they've got it on their boots, they got it on their belt, so they can fly with that. The wings just kind of give them direction. Now it turns out everything's made of nth metal. Now with Savage Hawkman, everything plus is made of nth metal. Oh, for crying out loud. Anyway, so Hath-Set wound up killing them also. So now he is cursed with immortality, so that every time that he dies and comes back, they come back. But his purpose in life now is to continually go on a recycling binge of killing them over and over and over again. It's usually the case where they, she dies first, and then he dies. Yeah, so they broke that cycle. But then it turns out they didn't break the cycle. Then it turns out that cycle doesn't actually mean anything now, because the Dark Knight's metal. So like they're going to be even older than that, and because if you remember when Batman died in Final Crisis, he went back and he was a caveman in the Bat Clan, the Bat Tribe. Turns out there's also a bird tribe, and Carter Hall, one of his earlier incarnations, was actually in there because they're retconning that now. So it was the Bat Clan versus the Bird Clan, and they were always at war with each other. And just, dude, can't be done in a minute. And that is literally just the gist. Like, the more I talk, the more I'm thinking, no, I should probably explain this also. And I can't keep doing that. I can't keep doing that. So, it's a lot. It's a lot. Anyway, really good stuff, though. Like, to me, like, that's one of the reasons why Hawkman is my favorite character, because there is so much stuff there. And there are versions that I love, versions that I just don't really love too much, but it is what it is. Anyway, what was just done on here? Plastic Man. Plastic Man was my very first Explained in a Minute. Go back and check that out. And Sean Citrai, answer me a simple question. What is Hawkman? Yeah, very simple, right? Damn, all I asked is, who is Hawkman? You butthead. Joe Fisher. Bill, when I was a kid, my grandma had a jar of half cents. Oh, wow. I would have to go and get 2 of them to make a penny. That's right. I remember seeing them. That's awesome, dude. My father actually used to collect coins. So I kind of got into collecting coins a little bit too, and then it just fizzled out. Boom. So this crazy cat turned itself into a couch, and I was hooked. Dude, P.A. Stewart, when with Plastic Man, when I first saw the cartoon, I was hooked. When he did that whole thing where he's like, let me hear what they're saying, and his ear would grow really big. I was like, oh, and he'd be like a hang glider and all sorts of crazy things. Like, I am in love with this. Ooh, and the one time, he turned into the couch, and Wonder Woman sat on him. That was like the best. That was the best. All right. So Scarlet O'Neil wasn't Invisible. Scarlet O'Neil, the first female superhero in comics, or Miss Fury, 4041. I'm talking actual superheroes. I'm not familiar with those characters. But I do know that it is universally agreed upon that the first super-powered, like I'm not just talking about, like, because, I mean, a lot of characters have come out before, including female characters, but actual female with superpowers is different. Like, there have been heroes and villains and people could do hypnotism and things like that in the comics before, but it wasn't until Superman came out, it's like, oh, he's actually super-powered. He's not just, kind of pretty strong and stuff like that. So he was an actual super-powered character. So that's where I'm going there. After this podcast, go read Moon Girl, or else you get Butch slapped. I'm going to keep it as Butch slapped. What do you call it? Boom. Oh, what do we got here? Anyways, I got to read Agents of S.h.i.e.l.d. I actually have to do my Marvel Face Rip game explained. I'm going to be talking about resources, I believe, and then I'm going to write down some notes for doing popularity, which I expect to do next week. Sorry. Also, I got to do my Nerdarchy video. So there's always a lot to do, but we'll see what happens after that. And then tomorrow I've actually got to be sociable and go to the wife's family's house. Joe Fisher, when I was a kid, this store my grandma would go in had penny candy still. I remember the 5 cents candy. That's the best I could do. Dick Fillmore, Shadow was superpowered. See, that's the thing. Shadow was not technically considered superpowered. That's why I specifically mentioned hypnotism. At the time, he was only able to hypnotize people. He wasn't actually powered. Later on, they started giving him the powers, that he had. And recently in the series, they actually called it Leviathan, which I think is very cool. But born in 1973. I was born in 75. So you're not that much older than me, Joe. Jeez. But what do you call it? And I remember, when I was a kid, my father, when I was only like 10 years old, could send me several blocks away in the middle of the night to go and buy cigarettes from the local mini mart and then come back with them. Yeah. So the local convenience store. So yeah, it was a messed up thing. I don't know Hugo Hercules. That's something. Anyway, so once again, this podcast is going ridiculously long. Oh, he was before Superman. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. There was a whole bunch of like Mandrake the Magician and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a lot of superheroes. There were a lot of heroes that came up before Superman, Phantom, and all those, but characters who actually had powers, that was a different thing. People never believed that characters with superpowers would be believable enough, even for kids. You know, they thought they'd just be, annoying. That's why everything was always cowboys and Indians and war movies and horror stuff and stuff like that. And every so often, the spy thriller stuff. That's where the so-called heroes usually came from. But yeah, actual superpowered stuff, very different. Green Scar, I've been deciding whether to read Hawkman. You've just convinced me. Thanks, Professor. Awesome stuff. Love hearing you go on a tangent. Me too sometimes. But Hawkman is really going to be something else, dude. Like, seriously, there is no greater investment to get it. Like, I've seen way back in the day the weekly poll cast, talking about Benny actually made a joke to Sal. He's like, I dare you to try and explain. And Benny, Rob from Rob Explained would usually do like 20-minute explanation videos for one character, right? Like 20 minutes. We're supposed to sit down for 20 minutes and listen to this guy practically rambling on about a character. It's like, no, dude, nobody needs the deep history. And then again, if you do, go ahead and listen to the deep history. But you're also talking about storylines, and I separate the storylines from the actual biographies. I give you the basics of the character so you know the character. You want more, go and check out this video. Like I'll try and do things like that. Rob goes into, here's everything you need to know about the character. It's like, whoa. And even the idea that you can fit that in 20 minutes is pretty impressive. But here's the deal. Benny made the joke. Benny from Comic Storian made the comment, made the joke on a weekly poll episode years ago to Rob. He's like, "Hey man, you know what? I dare you to try and make a Superman explained video. It's like all the different versions of Superman. There's no way you could do it. There's no way." And Rob had just recently gotten into to DC Comics at the time. He never really read DC before that. He was only Marvel Explained at the time. So that was actually a really funny moment where he's just like, I think I can. And like, I'm laughing. Sal was on there laughing from, at the time he was TV Little House. Now he's Comic Pop. And whoever else was, I forget who, I think there was a fourth guest on at the time. They changed that up so much. There's the local guy for me. He's in Toronto. I know his name, Cape Joel, who I would love to meet up with one of these days and just have like a quick little powwow with. And then there's just a whole bunch of different people. The guy from It's Super Effective, that guy. So I forget who else was there, but they were all like kind of laughing at Rob, like, dude, you have no chance of actually explaining Superman. And I myself know it's like, dude, it's impossible. That's impossible. So I could explain, Superman Blue in a minute. I could explain Superman Red in a minute. And I could probably do like, post-crisis Superman in a minute. I could do like a whole bunch of different versions of Superman in a minute. But there's no way I'm doing just one video to explain Superman, even if it's 20 minutes long. There's no way. There's no way. And Hawkman, if you can't do Superman, who has always been Superman, nah, dude, nah, that's impossible. Look up Cinnamon. You know what I'm saying? Look up Cinnamon and see a version of Hawkgirl. You know what I'm saying? Like, absolutely crazy. There's way too much there for Hawkman. So I do caution you, if you want to get a good Hawkman comic, a good, like trade paperback and keep going with there, Jeff Johns did, I think, 17 issues. Maybe it was only 16, but the first time I ever heard of Jeff Johns, he did a run on Hawkman. So I know they just re-released the trade within the past 2 months. Go to your local comic book store and check out, ask them, can I get the Jeff Johns run on Hawkman? Very much worth it. If you want to fall in love with this character, that's how you do it. Absolutely fantastic. They're operating out of St. Roche, Louisiana, and it's awesome. Awesome. So that's where you go. Green Scar, I'm hoping to finish reading Forever Evil before bed. Good night from Connecticut. I'll see you later, brother. Yeah, I'm about to bounce out too. Joe, gonna watch the Super Bowl. The Eagles are in, and they're my home team. Nice. And I'm 45 minutes from Philly. Love the teams. Okay, cool. All right, so I will see all you guys later. Seriously, thank you for being so active, and that's what makes the podcast for me. If nobody's really talking, it's going to be a 20-minute podcast for me. But I will go to an hour and a half if everybody's talking. So yeah. Anyway, guys, see you next time. Professor Bell, Comic Book University. Class dismissed. Oh, hey, Gerard Genzier, we're just leaving. Sorry. Bye, guys.